All right. So what do we have here? Let's take a look at wow. Boy, these AI these AI things are just going crazy. What is this? So it's just so I guess you're gonna upload other people. You can upload other people's faces into AI and then make them cross-eyed. Because that's not weird of you to do. But and so it's this dude, praise I am. And this dude had a complete meltdown when he was debating Justin. This is Justin in the deconstruction zone. uh, who he clearly wanted him to see his, this thumbnail. He's like, yeah, look what I did to your face, buddy. Yeah, take that. Because it's pretty much all I can do, I'm sure. I haven't watched any of this. Okay, so I'm just going to be straight up and honest here. We're going to cover it and see how it goes. I guarantee it's not what the thumbnail suggests or the title. Um, it's not like a coward. I don't know. We'll see, right? But I'm trying to get. Yeah, I messaged Justin to see if he wants to come on and maybe react to the one where he melts down and see what he thinks about it. Anyway, all right, we're gonna get into this. I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. Jeez, so wait. So this is just his whole. This is his stream, I guess. How long is this gonna happen for? Oh, there we go. There's some stuff happening. How long did that take? Geez, that was like 4 minutes of it. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to sit here for 4 minutes and just wait for people to show up? Is that a normal thing? I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I just do things, you know. Anyway, all right, let's check this out. Wait. Here we go.
Ha de apen ta adunata para anthropois adunata estin para totheu.
This is in English, right? Did I click the one with the wrong way? Or did I click the Spanish version? I think I might have messed up.
Jesus replied, "The things that are impossible for people are possible for God."
It's cool. I didn't make a mistake. I'm sorry. Never mind. Take back what I said.
Luke 18:27. We are live. The pod is live. Good to see everyone. Also, good to see Brett's in the house. God bless you, Brett. Also, Dustin.
What? Well, that was weird. I'm Brent Lee, but you know, I wouldn't expect this douchebag to get my name right, you know.
We got Manny in the house. Manny. God bless you, Manny. And
Manny. Dude, I think this guy, I think he might be drunk. That is kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, we got an interesting show for y'all tonight. I went on Deconstruction Zone's channel. I faced him one-on-one. I waxed the fourthum rectum.
I think something did happen to your rectum, but I don't think it was I don't think it was what you just said.
He rage booed me. We're going to review this.
Oh, so all right. So I'm watching the review because I like to do it from their perspective. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of excited to see like his breakdown of what he thinks he got right in the debate with Justin that I haven't even seen, to be honest. But I did see one of them where he just started screaming and swearing and yelling and, you know, saying F you and all this other stuff, which was quite entertaining. You know, I'll give it that. And it's kind of odd for a Christian to behave like that.
And like, they really worship this guy. Like, they venerate him. And what you'll find out, he's no different than the other con artists, the ones that have guile narratives. and
What?
the psyoping. He's a psyoper trying to get people to deconstruct in their faith.
He's a psyoper? What? Because he's paid by George Soros to spread not your religion being true? Okay.
Until they meet people like me, and then they show their true colors. You'll see what you'll see what his tactics were: over talking me, drowning out my sound, muting me, and then booting me. But we got enough footage though that will expose them. But anyway, bro, dude, sister, Olive, it's wonderful to be with you guys tonight. Can't wait to delve into it. I'm going to ask how was
can we delve into it? What are we doing here? Like, I get that this is all you got, so you got to kind of like warm everybody up. Oh, damn, this is like an hour and 50 minutes. Okay, you know what? Let me just. Is it okay? There we go. Sorry, we can get rid of all the preface, right? We don't need the preface, right?
Versus the tree of life. Even Tucker doesn't know that. I mean, and Tucker has the Holy Spirit, I think.
If he's talking about Tucker Carlson, that's hilarious. I don't know, but
I mean, he's being Judaized. I mean, I don't even know that
he's being Judaized. What?
Who that person is? So I'm not going to bring that up. But
I think it's kind of funny that I think they might be referring to the Tucker Carlson conversation that he had with some dude. I don't know who it was, but it was quite surprising to me. I almost talked about it, that Tucker Carlson was actually taking the side of the Palestinians in that whole conflict, or the Shememicide. Actually, I don't know why I called it. It's not a conflict. It's Shememicide.
Yeah, man, it was literally like an atheist clown show that Wildheart was running. And I was confused because it wasn't Wildheart's face on the screen. I'm like, isn't that Wild?
What? What is Wildheart?
That's all the crap that comes out of Wildheart's mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, is that some other TikToker that does the same thing? I guess
they have and Olive mentioned something that it's the same evil spirit because he accused me of being a drunk.
Yeah, you don't sound drunk at all right now, man. You sound totes sobes. Yeah, sure. Now let's go ahead. Totes sobes. Yeah, I'm gonna say.
What an idiot! Like,
let's cut the totes sobes. Yeah, let's cut that. Yeah, I didn't say that. Nope.
Like, is that his go-to when someone's when someone's waxing the floor with them? Like when someone's destroying his arguments. Oh, you're drunk. How drunk are you tonight?
Listen to what you're saying. Listen to your voice right now. You sound like you're drunk right now. Did you like wake up and have your fifth for the morning for breakfast? You're like, you like dump your cereal in and then just put some vodka just all over it.
Exactly, praise. And then it was ridiculous. And then the chat kept going in like, how many beers are you in? And then I seen one said in the chat, I'm not sure if he's drunk or from Boston. And but I'm
that's kind of mean. I mean, come on, chats. Let's not do that to Bostonites. Bostonians? Bostonites. I don't know. What do we call Boston people?
glad that you said
They're loud. They're loud. That's why they assume they're drunk. But it's not their fault. It's a loud city, plus everybody's Irish. So they're loud.
Gaslighting, because that's totally gaslighting. And to me, it's just
it was gaslighting because that's totally gaslighting. Why? Well, because it's gaslighting. Oh, good. I got to thank you for clearing that up.
Spirit. It's a spirit, and there's like a trend going around accusing everybody of being a drunk.
I know.
You don't sound too sober either, man. Like, what is happening? They're like, accuse it, because clearly he sounded like he's been accused of that too, Mr. Dude. But I guess if it's Mr. Dude, and he likes the Big Lebowski, which is another. It's odd that Christians would like stuff like this and identify with something. It's like a Christian with like a Hunter S. Thompson meme or something. You're like, yeah, I'm Christian, but I'm with Hunter. That guy was that was a fun. That dude was a cool guy, outlaw journalist. Am I right?
Oh,
yeah, and they were drinking because he was talking about it. That they were all drinking.
Unbelievable.
it's rejection.
Some people can drink and not get drunk. I know. Okay, look, I'm as confused about it as you are. All right, buddy, because that's not that's not me. But other people can do that. I don't. It's like, they can just like not keep drinking really fast. It's weird.
He tried to gas.
It's exactly why I don't do it much, like here or there, but try to keep from doing it.
It's this slander, smearing, and gaslighting that all he did. And I called him out on him, and I called him when he didn't. You see,
Can we see? Because like this is a lot of like what's gonna happen, but like maybe just let it happen and then talk about it.
Evil, and I'll call it out.
What? Hold on.
And I called him out on him, and I called him when he didn't. You see, I don't like evil.
Oh, I don't like evil. Okay, well that's time. I feel like that's kind of baked into the name or into the word specifically, unless you're like goth or something. Listening to Cradle of Filth, you know what I mean? Shout out to our conversation with Justin.
And I'll call it out.
Yep.
And I called it out. See, what she won't get with me is ass kissing. I'll never ass kiss this piece of shit. He is a piece of shit. I called him a piece of shit in his face.
How are you a Christian, man? What kind of Christian just goes around calling people a piece of shit? Weird kind of Christianity, man. I don't know. I feel like the religion has changed since I was part of it.
And I destroyed his arguments, and he tried to drown out my mic. He tried to mute me and then booted me. But I got enough.
Pretty sure he just can mute you. Was it he was having a hard time? He's like, I can't mute. Why can't I mute this guy? I'm trying to mute him. I can't do it.
In there, which you guys can see for yourself. He was absolutely destroyed, and I plan to show that tonight.
Okay, yeah. Any time, man. You're literally going on. We're 10 minutes into this sucker. You haven't shown anything. You've shown a whole lot of here's what's going to happen. And I kind of highly doubt this is what's going to happen. But anyway, so how's everybody doing? Y'all feeling okay? Doing all right? Who won today? Let me see here. And this one was a little bit last second. So, top one is the top one. Because I know most people don't assume that I'm going to stream on Saturdays because I typically don't. But Nikki had some plans with some friends. So it's like, cool. All right. I haven't gotten to stream like all week because I've been feeling like crap. I got an injury. It sucks. Anyway, but we'll get it. I'll tell you about it probably in the members stream tomorrow. Anyway, all right. Who won today? Wolfos, what's up, dude? Hell yeah. Why did it? Oh my goodness, this is gonna drive me crazy. I'm sorry. I have to fix this. This is incorrect. All of this is wrong. Why did it do this? So annoying when it changes stuff for absolutely no reason, There we go. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, Wolfus said, "Oh, what do we have here? 103 minutes till the live, and I'm here with this anxiety flower ready to imbibe. Imbibe's not a word, right? That's not. You just made that up. You just made that up right now, didn't you? Wolves are like that. Wolves make up stuff. I've heard that about them. They're wily. They're wild. Oh, no, wait, that's coyotes. Hold on. Never mind. Wait a second. I'm not waiting. I'm going to light this candle. If no one else shows up, fine. I'm lighting it. You can light it. Light it. I'm not stopping you. Do your thing, man. No, it's off. So Wolfos won. It's the, the long and short of that. Who was second? James. Wolfos is like snaking your waves, dude. He's snaking your waves. Every single stream, snaking it. Right? So I don't know if you got to wake up earlier. I don't know what you got to do. But I think we need to get on top of this. And Baba Ali, what's up, dude? Hey, Wolfos. That was me being Baba. That's how we sound. Hey, Wolfos. Like that. See? Jesus, I'm in the mood. Okay. Who else we got here? We got Drazilla's here. What's up? Hell yeah. We got Hackleg. Hell yeah. Weed Bro. What's going on? We got Top Tester. What's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a minute. Doing all right? Good. Hell yeah. What's that? Ambushed Apostate. Hell yeah. Just watching some of your stuff. I think we're gonna cover it on the members stream actually. one of your Kent Hovind calls. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun. Let's see what else we got here. Hellbound Hillbilly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Hellbound Hillbilly. That is hard to say. Hell yeah, Hellbound. I can't do it. I was going to try, but I'm not going to do it. Say that 3 times fast. When one of the first words you hear is psyop, you know it's going to be a wild video. That is absolutely true. 100%. Let's see. Apostate sisters, what's going on? Oh yeah, I said I think I think I just watched this. No way, really? My goodness, that's so funny. Hold on, I want to go to something she was saying. And Brinley, I'm going to Janice Selfie's Shameless Sexuality conference today. Today? That's awesome. Oh yeah, I love Janice. She's like one of my favorite people in the community. She helped me out a lot. She kind of like introduced me to the notion of toxic shame and stuff like that. So yeah, love Janice. She's super awesome. Let me know how it is. Tell her I said hi. Okay. Tell her Brentley said hey. That's awesome. And let me see who else we got here. Oh, Hard Determinist. What's up, dude? How you doing? Say good morning. Oh, you're saying hey to everybody. That's nice. It's nice to be polite. Who else we got? Oh, Brent. I guess were you in his stream? Were you in this Praise I Am guys live stream? Is he saying hey to you? Or is there just a billion of us? There's a billion of us. That's what it is. Too many Brents. Too many Brents. I'm gonna, die on that hill. Then there'd be one less Brent, Anyway, Atomic Punk said, how's it going, everybody? Been living too much life lately. I wouldn't pull back on the living. I mean, can you half live? I guess you can. You can just not do anything, right? You can just lay still. Technically, you're alive, but anyway. All right, so we're going to get on to it. Here we go. What? So, oh my God, I'm not a dude. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. Sorry, my bad. Lady. Can I call you lady? No, that's not. That's rude. There's like a negative connotation to lady, isn't there? Yeah. I'm sorry. Ma'am. That makes you sound old. That's what. Jeez, wait. Hey, you. It's like, y'all. What's up, y'all? So I gotta stop gendering the fucking my language. I'm trying to. I keep. Anyway, all right. I'm working on it. Promise. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Yeah, he is a lying piece of shit, and I'm so sick of the ass kissing, even from these weird Christians that come in there. Oh my God, Justin. You're just so good. You're just so good. He's not good. He's not.
Yeah.
What Christians are doing, like maybe he's watching them more than I am, which I guarantee he is, because I don't have a lot of time. But there's Christians coming like, I love your stuff, Justin. You are just phenomenal at making us not exist with our beliefs anymore.
Surface level. And this is what we're going to show you. It's called atheistic parrotism. Yeah, there's parrots all over the place.
What?
People that can't think for themselves. Dustin, I mean, do you believe this? I want to show you how.
Well, hold on. People that can't think for themselves. And you're saying that's the atheist? That's really funny. Atheist just means like not believing a thing. And like you're the one that is believing a thing and then has a bunch of people literally called followers. Like Jesus's followers, right? And yet, but we're the ones that can't think for ourselves. Like this religion, Christianity, has been at the center of more cults than any other religion, I'm pretty sure. Because it's so easy to use to control people. Because they get you to stand up in the service and be like, I will live in accordance with the book that I know nothing about. And I will do whatever you tell me I'm supposed to do in accordance with that book. And that's thinking for yourself. I think it's exactly not thinking for yourself. And that's where the comfort is. Because strangely enough, there's a comfort in not having to decide stuff. Because it's actually kind of, it makes life a lot easier. Like, I don't have to think anymore. I can just ask the magic in my head what I should do about this, and then decide that whatever the result is either a test or a blessed, and then I can live life more easily or whatever. But a lot of times you just end up giving away a whole bunch of money to con men and, allowing your children to be in the same space as But yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway,
how retarded this Justin is from Deconstruction Zone. He debated Michael from Inspiring Philosophy, and he actually argued the Bible says that people should not mate and have babies.
oh right.
Do you believe that shit?
I mean, Paul does say that, dude. Like, but see, here's the problem with the Bible, because he's taking the instruction. But see, Justin knows the Bible in context. That's the thing. So when they said be fruitful and multiply, that was talking about the Jews. It's so funny when they are willing to like, take the message that's for the Jews, and then they reject other messages that were for the Jews. But like it says be fruitful and multiply. That was for Israel to like, so that they could go be in their land or whatever, right? Because they had their land set up, the promised land. Go there, be fruitful and multiply. That was what that was for, right? That was not a New Testament thing. The New Testament thing, the one that you say you're supposed to listen to, and you don't have to listen to the Old Testament. The New Testament says that Paul says, if you can be alone and just serve God and not have a wife or kids or a family, you should do that. But if you're burning with lust, then go get married, and have a family and everything. But there really isn't much in the Bible about quote unquote family values. There just isn't, because it was just an ancient cult. So really, it was all just about getting you as dedicated to the cult as humanly possible. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
The Bible's against baby making.
Literally is.
And they laughed him to scorn, and he deserves that laughter. He should be scorned. And I can't believe how many mental midgets that collapse and fall into.
That's so funny that he used the word mental midgets. Wow. That's there's a NoFX song. I know I'm always talking about NoFX, but there's a NoFX song where it's like it's called Regaining Unconsciousness. And he like calls, it's all about Bush and the Christians and everybody in there are mental midgets and anyway, but I've never heard that word used outside of that song, and then it's coming from a Christian, which is so funny. Anyway, let's see. Ambushed Apostate said, glad you are going to review my call with my call to Kent. I actually called twice, and both calls are on my channel. Enjoy, and I look forward to seeing your take. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see, and I might even take some parts of that and put them out like as regular content. But I kind of wanted to do it for the members as kind of just a fun thing. But all right, here we go.
He's a narcissist. He loves being worshipped. He's a piece of shit. And I don't know what's to put it. You hate evil. Call him out. Righteous indignation.
He likes to be worshipped. That is so weird. Here's the thing. It's weird how they always have to say this. Anybody that disagrees with the God that they think you should be submitting to, if you don't submit to the God, then you have decided that you are a God. Right? And again, that's part of the manipulation, the emotional manipulation, because then they're basically calling you like a narcissist and stuff. And nobody wants to be labeled a narcissist. Nobody wants to think of them, like be thought of like, oh, this guy just thinks he's the best thing ever. Like he's just a sociopathic narcissist, whatever. Nobody wants to be thought of like that. Well, most people don't. Maybe Republicans, but other than Republicans, normal people don't want to think that way. You know what I mean?
I don't think this. My opinion, he claimed to be a Christian for 35 years. Well, you always hear that.
He went to full seminary. He did he went full blown. He learned everything he could so that he could go be a pastor. And in that process, realized, oh shit, this is all bullshit. And not only is it bullshit, it's harmful bullshit. So he was like, man, now I've got this education I can do nothing with. And he knows like literally not everything, but he knows a lot. Like the Old Testament, he knows just about everything. And he's like, I can do nothing with this now. And it was kind of the same, thought process that I went through when I remember just being like, the stuff that I know about is all useless now, because it's none of it was true. It was all just me being whiplashed from this belief to that belief. None of them were real. And I learned all sorts of stuff and thought I was finding clues and all this other. It was just a big, huge waste of time. I was just sitting there. It was literally a wild goose chase of me thinking I'm finding patterns and stuff, for the universe is communicating with me. None of it was true. So yeah, you end up feeling like, well, crap, what am I supposed to do now? And then this is what we do now. It's like, I try to help people the way that, god awful movies and other, the Thinking Atheist and the Atheist Experience and the Line help me. So, and it has helped me. I've literally changed my entire life since then. I used to have an extreme anxiety disorder that I do not have at all now.
But where is the full sufficiency of Christ, the gospel? And how do I don't see that. I just hear a bunch of lip service. Well, I went to church or something. So
have you thought about joining Chris and Ryan on the Damn Network? I would love to. Yeah, I need to get with them on that. Actually, we had talked about it a while ago to go on that damn network. Yeah, because I love that live stream. I love those guys. I love those folks. God damn, gendered language. God damn it. But yeah, no, I do want to go on there and hang out. I got to do it now. Now I got to do it on a day when I'm not working, because it's literally I'm on the opposite schedule now, so it's kind of weird. But I got to reach out and see what's up. But yeah, they're really great. They've been putting out my content and everything on the Discord. It's really cool.
I don't think so. I think this guy's a fraud, a fake. He's an infiltrator.
A fraud of fake. That sounds redundant.
And he works for the enemy.
He works for the enemy. Why is everything in war language with these people? And then they wonder why we're like, anytime they start just talking about God, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And they see your discomfort and your fear. And you're like, oh, see, that's the devil inside of them. And it's like, no, I just don't know if you're going to string me up and light me on fire, man. Because, people have historically done that sound exactly like you. And now I don't know how crazy you are, how untethered to reality you are. It's not the demons inside of me, man. It's the anxiety of not knowing if I'm going to be hurt or not.
So we'll jump into the conversation here. So we're going to give a little bit of a presentation on metaethics, properties, objective morals. How do we know objective morals exist?
They don't.
I'm going to give citations for this. I'm going to give papers.
Bring all the papers you want. It doesn't exist, man. Wow.
I don't know what else to show. This guy's a total lying cunt.
What the wow? Whoa. Whoa. Sorry. I didn't know he was going to be saying slurs. Okay. Jeez Louise, man. And he's not British. That's why it's a slur. It's weird how this stuff works. You know how black people can say the N word? British people can say the C word. I don't know why. It's just, I think they sort of changed it. It doesn't mean what it means over here. But yeah, wow.
So what I'm going to do,
sorry,
start from right here when he jumps in here. Here we go.
He spiritualized. All right, let's get our next guest in here.
Dude, it's so funny. Iron Charioteer, real quick. Iron Charioteer said, hey, y'all, just let you know, Ezekiel 23:20 is the best prophecy of all. Proves Jesus. What is it? Proves Jesus. Look it up. Yeah, it's so funny you said it. I've messed with people that I know were Christians, and how people put Psalms 31. It's some love. They just put the Bible verse or whatever, right? In the birthday card or their anniversary card. I've messed with people and put that one, put the Ezekiel 23:20. And even though they were Christians and they know I'm an atheist, they thought it was hilarious. They're like, oh my God. Because and the one time they had the kids look it up. I'm like, don't have the kid look it up. No, sorry. It was a joke. Don't do it. That was for you. Okay. I didn't know you'd be reading this stuff in front of your kids. Like, oh, good. We're going to have a Bible lesson today, kiddos. No, don't. Please stop. But it's a good gag, if they don't read it to their kids or have their kids look it up.
Welcome back, Praise.
Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, wow. How long did that take? Let's see here. It took almost 12 minutes to get to the damn thing.
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, he's nervous. He's not acting like the other ones. He was smiling and all jovial, but he knows when I come in, I'm gonna smack him around. Should you have it?
Yeah, I mean, or he just knows what to expect and knows the disrespect to expect.
Me, Justin. Thanks for having me.
Hey, that rhymed. I'm a poet, and I didn't even realize it.
Sure. So, Praise, I already know you're over the age of 18, and I already know that you're a believer. So we can skip those two questions and go right into the third question, which is, what is the most compelling evidence or argument for the Christian God being real?
Sure. So I'm going to use an argument from Jerome Daniel Schoon's paper, basically objective moral progress.
I like how he's like, oh, they just puppet. They're just parrots. They just parrot other people's talking points. And then he shows up and is like, here's the guy I'm going to repeat as my argument. So you're literally doing the thing you just, wow, man, talk about a hypocrite.
Demonstrates objective morality via the abolishment of slavery by Christianity.
Jesus.
So
why is it so loud all of a sudden?
There's a paper by Jerome Daniel Schoon. It shows that moral
Schoon.
Progress demonstrates.
Sorry, that name's Schoon. That's gotta be fun. I would say it like that every time and be like, I am Brentley Schoon. What's up, dude? How you doing? Nice to meet you. You gotta say my name right, okay? If it's not emphasized the way I just emphasized it, you're saying it wrong, okay?
Objective morals. And we know this because there's properties that come with it. And that's how we determine why there is objective morality is through the properties of moral facts.
There is no such thing as properties of moral facts. What are you talking about? That's not how you're talking about two different things. It's a category error.
And not only the moral ontology of moral facts, but also the epistemology. And I brought this up. And you
can't, oh my God. And he doesn't even get that you can't like cross those two things. It's either ontological or epistemological. You can't you can't bounce back and forth between those.
Tried to cut me out, but you'll see how.
Which is why I don't find a lot of ontological stuff very convincing, because it's kind of it's like within a system of its own. And it's like, anytime you apply it to like epistemology, like, how do we know that this is actually true? They're like, oh man, you can't do that, because there isn't any way to know that it's true. We can just know that it's consistent, and that's it. It's like it can be valid, but as far as I can tell, it can't be sound. But I mean, I'm talking about like the ontological argument and the Anselms and stuff like that. But and I guess like the moral arguments would fall into that category as well, because like you could say that there is objective morality ontologically, but it's kind of like something that we just don't know about or whatever, but it's like but that to me makes it useless. But anyway,
slimy he gets here. Watch how slimy this piece of crap gets. Moral properties are unique, and they're known as sui generis.
Can you show that objective morals exist?
Yes, and through objective moral progress.
Well, what makes it objective?
Yeah, why do they always use that word? So you can just say moral progress, but like, why is it objective?
That it's independent of human opinion.
How?
But how do I know that they're objective? Like when you're saying there's objective moral progress, how do I know that those are objective morals being progressed?
They're properties.
Properties of what?
What?
So they have alethic and semantic properties, and they also have.
But I said properties of what?
Properties of moral facts.
Okay, and how do we know that moral facts exist?
How do you have a moral fact? A fact is something that is true. This is like the whole "it's ought" problem, dude. Like this is like, well, as far as I understand, like well understood by anybody that understands moral ethics and philosophy or whatever.
Because to negate them assumes that there is a moral fact to begin with.
What?
So
hold on, to negate. That's so insane. Wait, to negate them, if you go, yeah, they don't exist, and then you go, well, then you're assuming they do because you're saying they don't. What the hell kind of brain pretzel did somebody get this guy's mind into, man? Holy Lord. And he's like, wow, that's it. You talk smart enough to get my brain all twisted up, but I'm going to go try to repeat this to somebody. What the hell are you doing, man?
What a dumbass. So let me demonstrate that.
Let's do it.
To claim there are no moral facts is claiming a moral fact. So it's self-defeating, and he kept on.
Oh, he's trying to do. No, it's not. It's just a fact. He's trying to do the absolute truth thing. Okay. When somebody said, God, it's so, they love this kind of nonsense. And they get it from, you know, people like that, with that Wilson guy, Andrew Wilson and stuff like that, where if you try to find like some kind of paradox within their claim or whatever. And so if you say like for instance, if you say there is no such thing as absolute truth, they will go, is that statement absolutely true, to try to confuse you. So it's that kind of like turning the mirror on itself, like to be confusing or whatever. But he's got it. He's doing it wrong. It doesn't make any sense because it's not a moral fact. Isn't a fact. That's the thing. That's why we have to separate truth from opinion, right? An opinion is morality. Like you can't have something being good or bad if it's outside of all opinion. You have to have some kind of basis for why it is good or bad. And that can change depending upon who is deciding something is good or bad. It always requires interpretation. You know what I mean? Because you could say like hurting, they always like try to use the example of hurting babies for fun or whatever, right? And they have to like add in the for fun, because, you know, you could find some other thing would be like, well, sometimes, you know, you got to hurt a kid to like, to help them or whatever, right? Like you could be a doctor. Like here's how I would answer that. How like, what if there's a doctor and he enjoys doing surgery? So he's having fun cutting open a kid, but it's for the kid's good, right? Because he's helping him, but he's hurting the kid because he's cutting him, right? And so this is what I'm saying. Like it always requires interpretation, always. And it doesn't even matter at the end of the day, because even if everybody's opinion is the same, it's still an opinion. So who cares? It's still not objective. Why can't they get this? It's like, so it's not that hard.
Saying no, that's not true, but let's pull something up to give a little insight on this.
Yeah, please do. I think you need it.
So
what's up, Henry? How we doing, man? What's a moral fact? I have nothing. That's a nothing. It's just this guy's subjective opinion of what he thinks his God wants people to act like, and then he says it's objective because his God has to exist, and so it's very circular.
Claiming moral facts don't exist, is that a moral claim? Yes.
Where are you at? Oh, in Chat GPT. It's not though. Chat GPT is just wrong about this, dude. No, it's not a moral fact, dude. Unless you're this is again a category error. You know, it's a fact about morality that somebody is like, you know, it's how do I say that? Yes, claiming moral facts don't exist can be considered a moral claim, not a fact. It doesn't say fact, it says claim. Yeah, and claims aren't facts. This is like, and that's, I guess that's where he really breaks down, doesn't he? It's like, what do you mean claims aren't facts? It's a fact that I claimed it. There we go. I win. Idiot, dude. That's so funny. What's up, Birds? How we doing, dude?
Claiming that moral facts don't exist can be considered a moral claim depending on the context and phrasing. Here's the breakdown. Moral facts don't exist. That's what he's basically, he's a moral anti-realist. He is someone that is he's a moral skeptic, which is a moral anti-realist. But here it is. So that is
and a moral anti-realist, as far as I understand, is somebody that doesn't think that objective moral facts exist, and it's because they don't. It's like, I don't know without completely redefining what objective means. You know, because even if it is that a God created us and the God created us to behave in a certain way, it would still be that God's opinion of what that God wants us to behave like. And it's even worse than that for Christians, because it's their opinion of what they think their God's opinion is. So it's opinion fucking squared.
It is a metaethical claim. A claim about morality, not necessarily a moral prescription.
Holy shit, James, 12 months. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Seriously, dude. That is huge. It's y'all like, and seriously, I don't I don't like to talk about how bad I can be with money, but y'all have saved my ass before. Just recently. I have a lot of medical bills at the moment, and I was down to less than $2 in my account. And then the YouTube kicked in. I was like, oh, I can get gas and drive myself home from the hospital. It's crazy, man. But thank y'all so much. Y'all are awesome. But yeah, if y'all want to become members or do super chats and stuff, I could definitely use that type of thing right now because wow, it's expensive to go to the hospital multiple times. Holy Lord.
Expresses moral anti-realism or error theory, saying there are no objective moral truths, and that's what he was pushing. So yes, I was right, Justin.
No, wait, how did he say that? Hold on, I'm sorry. Where's this? James, can you're trying to, you're getting me all off track here. That was good.
Realism or error theory, saying there are no objective moral truths, and that's what he was pushing. So yes, I was right.
Hold on. What?
So that is a metaethical claim.
Yeah, claim. Why does he not understand the difference between a claim and a fact? Because he's a Christian. That's why.
A claim about morality, not necessarily a moral prescription. It expresses moral anti-realism or error theory, saying there are no objective moral truths, and that's what he was pushing. So yes, I was right, Justin.
No, you're not. You're literally proving yourself wrong and don't even realize it. Wow, these people, it's like they read a paper and hear somebody that it's like the Jordan Peterson phenomenon, right? Like where people like hear him say something and then run away and repeat it, thinking it's smart. And then somebody that is actually understands the philosophies of like what Nietzsche or whatever, like they could just break it down and be like, no, you're wrong. He's literally misquoting the philosopher that he's convincing you that he knows so much about. And that's what he's doing here because he just read some paper and then he runs away after reading that paper and tries to repeat it and even cite it before he's even repeated it. As if Justin's just going to be like, oh yeah, I know that one. Okay, so now I'll respond to the paper then, I guess, since that's all you're going to be talking about. Jeez. And then mixes up a word because he's probably drunk and forgot that he said fact and not claim. And now here we are. Jesus. Unbelievable.
Claiming there are no moral facts is claiming a moral fact in itself.
No, it's not. No, it's not, dude. It's a claim.
This is straight up philosophy.
It's a fact that it's a claim, but again, it's a category error. It's a fact about what somebody thinks about morality. That's it. But that's again not what we're talking about.
I mean, do you have any? I'm going to supply citations for mine. You'll see here.
Okay, let's do it.
Pull up my citations from actual philosophy.
From actual philosophy, because that's actual philosophy never gets disagreed with or anything. Once it's like science, dude. Like once that peer-reviewed philosophy paper comes out, everybody's just like, damn, yeah. The peer review process is just testing whether or not that's true, and then everybody has to agree at the end of the day that philosophy is solid. Philosophy is all about like disagreeing and asking questions like this. No two philosophers. Oh my God.
Shows you what a dumbass. This guy does not know what he's talking about.
Now it's you. You're the dumbass that doesn't know what you're talking about.
So let's pull up some actual qualified people in this.
Glad to hear you admit that you're not qualified.
In this arena or this field.
Yeah, yeah, because you did. I gotta say that the smart people word, which is in that academic field. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm just in my glasses, Wow. Hey, Drusilla, thank you so much. Hell yeah. Oh, y'all are the best. I love y'all. Y'all are so cool. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. It's not hard. I don't want it. If it's not hard, I don't want it. I agree. I mean, and that, you know, if I mean, that kind of applies, I'd say, to like, if you want something hard, you know, you could always go to adamandeve.com, right? And get something hard to have some fun with, right? Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. And Drusilla, you're right in the way. Okay, there you go. Go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brentley, and get your butt some stuff. Okay, it's they got everything. I promise you're gonna love it. Good stuff. All right, here we go. Back to the fun. But thank you so much, Drusilla. You're awesome.
Make sure I can get to that, and there we go.
That was like the most I like this guy. Honestly, that little playful. Here we go. I like that. You know, I like him like 0.5% more now.
So I told Justin that there's properties. There's alethic and semantical properties and unique properties that are ontological, metaphysical.
Yeah. Which ontological, God, this is where I get so irritated with this kind of stuff. And if we're talking alethic, semantic, isn't semantic all about like how you use your language? It might mean something slightly different in philosophy, but well, I'll let them go. Whatever.
And they're non-natural. They're sui generis. But I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with actual people that are.
What's up, Titan? How you doing? Glad to have you here. What's up?
That have credentials and stuff. Like,
and skeptically pissed. What's up?
Like, what the hell has Justin ever did in philosophy? He has no credentials. Shut your fucking mouth, Justin.
Whoa. With the language, buddy. Trying to get me demonetized? Huh? Is that what you're trying? He is trying to do that, isn't he? Yeah, but he is.
Justin, you piece of shit. You
wow, dude. This dude is unhinged.
Lying scumbag.
He's just name calling. Like, I thought we were going through the academic. We're going through the academic, and he doesn't understand it clearly. So now he's just name calling on his channel when he's trying to break down why Justin's wrong. Can't do that. Start name calling. Oh my God. So funny. What's up, Guitar Dog? How we doing, man? Thanks for hanging out. You are, I'm sorry. Yo. How you doing, yo? I gotta stop saying words like that. Anyway, all right.
Con artist.
Psyoper.
He's a psyoper.
Psyoper doesn't sound as cool as you think it does, dude. It sounds really dumb. It sounds like some character from a Minecraft game. It's like frog shaped, but that's a psyhopper. You know what I mean? So it's like a frog with like one of those sighs that gets you on Minecraft when you go down into the sewer. Anyway, it's a whole thing.
Trying to get people to turn away from their faith, which is the scumbaggery of the earth. Listen to this. J.M. Katz, PhD, says, by contrast, non-natural properties are generally held to be causally impotent and not discoverable by empirical or scientific methods.
Boom. Yeah, because they don't exist. You have to go through this weird ontological, like it exists somewhere out in the ether, even though nobody can access it. But if I conceptualize it and then make sure that conception is consistent, it somehow becomes a ontological fact or whatever.
Examples of non-natural properties include sui generis and supernatural properties.
Conclude sewage. Hold on a second. Sewage and airus. Wait, hold on. What is happening? Sewage, air.
Properties. A property that is sui generis is metaphysically unique and different in kind from any other property. Moral properties that are sui generis are non-reductive, irreducibly normative properties. They can be
irreducible normative properties. Irreducible normative, because normative just means like oughts and stuff like that. But again, they're going so hard to try to like get an ought from an is without any kind of goal or anything like that. Because that's the thing, you'd have to have an objective goal in order for you to be able to have an objective fact. You can put things in objective terms if you decide on a goal. If you say like the best well-being for everybody, or the best well-being for the most people possible, right, or something like that. Then you can objectively get closer or further away from that goal. But like, people don't have to agree with that being the goal. A religious person would just show up and say that, no, I don't care about that goal because God might want somebody to suffer that I think, that deserves it or whatever. So like that then their goal would just be dedication to my religion. And so we got two different goals going on here. That's why it's not objective. That's why it can't be objective. And that's the whole point.
Explained as supernatural properties in divine command theory because they challenge existing scientific principles.
Okay, now we've just gotten completely stupid, because the divine command theory is the dumbest, most insane, harmful even moral philosophy ever. That is the moral philosophy that led to things like the witch burning, the Salem witch trials, and all the prior witch trials in other countries. It says, like, as long as God says to do it, or as long as you subjectively interpret your God said to do it, then you got to do it, and it's moral, because even it doesn't matter if it's harmful, doesn't matter what, anything. Harm does not come into it at all. It's whether or not I think God told me to do it, and that makes it okay. That makes it moral. That's why it's so dangerous. And then they can't even agree as to like what that is, right? Like even there's like what we had with slavery, Christians on both sides of that debate, because the Bible actually did advocate for slavery quite a bit, Old and New Testament. And so when the other Christians were coming against the slave holding Christians, they had a debate about what they thought God wanted. And it's like, see, it can't be objective. Holy shit.
Such as the causal closure principle, which states that all causes of physical events are physical. For example, if it is a moral fact that all acts...
I love how they have like the student. This makes it official looking, right? Right? We got like a student up there, and she looks happy. She's wearing glasses and everything. She's smart. So anyway, put the words in yellow so that people with ADHD can read it better, which I actually do appreciate. That's the one thing that I kind of like about this, is I can actually read this part. Usually I got to get like this like see-through paper that's like yellow, and you stud it over the book, and then I can read. Anyway, it's a whole problem. I got issues with that sort of thing.
Of unconditional love are good, it is because all instances of unconditional love have the property of being good. Unique entails that moral constituents of moral facts, moral properties, or their instances fall into a metaphysical category of...
Why is unconditional love objectively good? How can something be objectively good? It's like you're putting a value judgment on it and then saying it's judgment free. Anytime, if you say something is good, if you say something tastes good, if you say something looks good, anytime it's good, it's to you. Like, unless, again, we're talking about some kind of framework that you have created with a goal in mind. That's the only way to make something objectively good. And even then, people can just disagree about the goal.
Of their own, and thus are sui generis. Sui generis as a moral entity is metaphysically unique.
Oh, Brent said I have to remember that hack. Oh, putting the background in yellow. Yeah, ADHD, or if you have like eye focusing problems and stuff, it even, as far as I understand, like helps people with dyslexia, because I have like a issue with that a bit. It's not as bad as a lot of people, but I do have issues with that. Anyway, but yeah, putting the yellow background really does help. But yeah, give it a shot.
Unique.
They sell them at like school supply stores and stuff.
Insofar as it is neither reducible to or identical to, nor metaphysically continuous with any other kind of entity. It means it's transcendental. It transcends nature, space, time, and matter, anything biological, chemistry.
That's just you claiming that, man. You're like, it means as long as I think my God wants me to do something, well, that transcends literally everything. So I'm right.
And this is a property of moral progress.
What? No, it's not. What, you haven't defined any term. What the hell is moral progress to you subjectively? What the hell do you think moral progress is? Because it almost seems like if you were back in the day when they were burning witches and gay people and everybody else, you would have thought that was as morally progressive as you can get, given that that's where you're trying to drag us back to, man.
So we have epistemological, we can metaphysically discover ontological and epistemology attached to moral facts.
Nope. Wow, dude, you're literally crossing the streams so badly. It's like, he's just saying smart people words. Like, that's it. He's like, I know the word epistemological. I know that word. I know ontological. I bet you if I asked him to define epistemology, he couldn't do it. You know, or I just, wow, man, because that's just a well-known in philosophy. It's like well understood that you can't mix epistemology and ontology because they're so different conceptually. One is like tying everything to like actual existence. The other one is formulating concepts and things like that. They're just totally, it's like essence of, or the study of being, right? But it's like, it also has a lot to do with just metaphysics. Anyway, there's a lot to it. I'm not a philosophy bro. Okay. I'm listening to it a lot because I am actually interested in it, but not an expert. I'm not going to do what this guy's doing and pretend like I know everything. I just know a little bit of the stuff, and that's all I need to see that this guy's an idiot.
So let me also show the paper by Jerome Daniel Schoon.
You said his name wrong.
So
Skin. It's skin. Like drag the S. Skin. Come on, man.
We're just, giving
can't even say Schoon right.
A seminar, I guess. People from the Justin. I hope anyone that's coming from Justin's camp, anyone that's coming from the deconstruction zone who is watching this, I hope you're watching this really closely and how bamboozled you people are. See, when you meet people that know what they're talking about, you'll instantaneously be exposed. And this is where he resorted to ad hominems, gaslighting.
Dude, you were just calling him every name that you could think of when you were like lost track of what you were reading a second ago, man.
Guile, smearing. Yeah.
Just play the damn thing, man. Holy shit.
That's what a piece of shit he is. So let me show you.
He's like, he was just ad hominem. That piece of shit, scumbag, garbage mother. He's ad hominem and me. And I'm not.
Jerome Daniel Schoon's paper on objective morals
exists because of divine command theory, which means just whatever I think my God wants everybody to do, then it's objectively moral.
Because of moral progress.
Makes no sense, dude. You have not explained anything that means. Anything. I am so lost as to what his case even is, and this is his fucking video. How the hell are you this arrogant and this bad at this, man? Incredible.
So if someone asks you, how do we know objective morality exists, is because
just recite.
We know that moral progress has existed, the abolishment of slavery, which I wanted to get into slavery, but he says I went off topic. How is the abolishment of slavery off topic?
How is it objective? Oh my God. How could it possibly... See, moral progress literally demonstrates that there aren't objective moral standards according to your religion being true, man. Like, it literally flies in the face of it. Because why would morality change? It can't. If it's objective, it can't change. That's like you saying that 2 + 2 = 4 can develop over time. And maybe it can equal 16 or 17 or banana, because, hey, stuff can progress. It's objective. If it's objective, it's always the same. It's outside of all opinion. No matter what we think about it, it is exactly the same. That's the idea. I have 5 fingers on my hand. no matter what anybody, whether or not any humans on the planet Earth exist or not, other than me, of course, because it's got to be my hand. It would still be. Doesn't matter what their opinion is. Somebody could say that I have 4 fingers or whatever, but it doesn't matter because I don't. It's objective. This is what objective means, outside of all opinion. Jesus Christ.
It's like you are way below. You're a wiffle bat swinger.
Dude, just explain the thing, man. Just explain the goddamn argument, because I don't think you even can.
You got to get in the big leagues, buddy. I got that from.
Dude's got like 100. He's got like 100,000 followers on TikTok, but yeah, he's got to get in the big leagues.
I love it. It's true though.
Jesus.
He's a wiffle bat swinger.
What's up, Kent? How we doing, man? Bamboozle sounds like an old mustachioed porn star name. I am bamboozled. I can't wiggle my mustache. I wish I could. I wish I had a wiggleable mustache. That'd be really cool. I gotta ask Nikki for that for Christmas.
So in Jerome Daniel Schoon's peer-reviewed paper, No Moral Progress Within an Objective Moral Ontology, the following paradoxical disproofs.
Is this what peer-reviewed papers look like, y'all? Is this? They look like a PowerPoint set with like this looks like a business presentation, man. This looks like a work meeting. You're like, okay, the TPS reports. We're putting the new cover sheets on the TPS reports. Peter, what the hell, man? All right, come on, get with it. Get with the program. I'm going to get you the memo. No, shut up. I'll get you the memo.
Are used to eliminate naturalistic explanations of moral progress. Number 1, the local problem. Number 2, the problem of
what the hell's the local problem? Dude, you got to explain stuff.
Speciesism, and thirdly, the problem of evolutionary ethics. These problems are specifically targeted to eliminate moral anti-realism as an explanation. So we have actual papers out there, and he actually has a syllogism
that I don't understand
that debunks subjective morals.
Here we go. All right. If there is objective moral progress, then an objective moral standard exists. If an objective moral standard exists, then it is either natural or non-natural. Okay. Premise 3. Nothing natural can function as an objective moral standard. I don't even know what he means by that. If there is objective moral progress, then a non-natural objective moral standard exists. There is objective moral progress. Oh, okay. I know this one. I feel like I heard Frank Turek do this one, which is so ironic because they bring up slavery, and it's like slavery's in the Bible. You claim that's your source of objective morality, yet it progressed. The only thing that why we subjectively interpret moral progression to happen is because we've figured out all like more of the harms that have happened, and most people do not subjectively like being harmed. And so we subjectively don't like other people being harmed because of mirror neurons. And we're like, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. Right. And so that's what we are talking about when we say moral progress. And it's always getting like the powerful to stop, to actually give a crap about the vulnerable. And it's kind of that balance of power over time. Back in the day, they literally owned humans as property, until like enough people were like, this is disgusting. What are you doing? And nobody would want to be owned by somebody else and treated like that. And, so we convinced the people with the power to go attack those other people with their power that didn't want to give their power up, and then made things better that for everybody as our subjective interpretation of what better means, because it all has to do with our subjective experiences and what we think other people's subjective experiences should be, based on the natural understanding that harm is bad and we don't like being hurt. We don't like having our choices removed. We don't like things like that. But that's all because we are a social species and we evolved to be such. And it was very advantageous for us to be a social species. And that's why we have moral values at all, but it's not objective. But this, it's like they're saying, hey, as long as you subjectively say that there was moral progress because slavery was abolished, then that means there has to be some standard out there ontologically. This is what I'm talking about when they say like you remove it from reality. It's just like out there in the ether. Well, what is the moral standard? Where is it? Like just tell me exactly what it is, and then we can just promote that and have everybody behave according to the objective moral standard that we can see and demonstrate and show everybody. Oh, you can't because it doesn't exist.
So here's this is peer reviewed, by the way. Premise 1.
Yeah, you said that 4 times now, man. Do you even know what peer review means? My goodness.
There is objective moral progress.
And peer reviewed by who? The other scholars at Liberty U? Like what?
An objective moral standard exists. If an objective moral standard exists, then it is either natural or non-natural. Premise number 3. Nothing natural can function as an objective moral standard.
Yeah, see, this is where I would disagree. See, Brent, this is actually a good. Thank you, Brent, for bringing this up. Because you're putting it in like secular objective moral belief. Because I'm an anti-realist. There are other like atheists and stuff that believe that moral values do exist. So here I can prove objective morals exist. Morals come from mirror neurons, like what I was just describing. That's mirror neurons are like what make you grab your crotch when you see somebody else get kicked in the balls. For guys, I'm sorry, it's a guy thing, or I'm sorry, people with balls. But yeah, but that's the thing that does that, right? And yeah, anyway, where are we at? Oh, right. Because again, we're a social species. So those neurons exist objectively. That is true. They objectively exist. Therefore, objective morality exists there. I would still disagree because I think that we subjectively interpret what we think other people think and other people want. And a lot of times we're wrong about that, as you can see from the courts and then what people think is fair and stuff like that. Yes, we do objectively have mirror neurons, but I don't think that necessarily means that there isn't an objective moral standard, because then, we'd still be disagreeing based on our subjective interpretation because we each individually have mirror neurons. And so therefore, it's not objective. It's just objective that we have have mirror neurons, but not what we think about based on those mirror neurons. If that makes sense. What did Burns say? Let me see. Hold on. Burns, where you at, dude? Okay, Brent. Where did they get the mirror? I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Fuck. It is circular.
Conclusion 1. There is objective moral progress, then a non-natural objective moral standard exists. Premise 4, there is objective moral progress.
But it's just your subjective opinion that there was moral progress, dude.
Conclusion 2,
and what's so weird here is aren't you all trying to go back to a place where you use the word again, make things good again, make America great again? You're literally like, moral progress is antithetical to your beliefs, dude. People actually giving a shit about the people that you think people shouldn't give a shit about is what moral progress is. You're literally and Christians have defied moral progress at every goddamn turn throughout history. God.
Non-natural objective moral standard exists, and this is what I brought up with non-natural properties. That's how we.
There you go. Brent's like, it's still less wrong than praise I am. Yeah, dude. And you're right, because you're at least thinking about it from like a factual basis.
No, they're objective because they transcend reality, physical, natural reality.
If they transcend reality, then they're not real. God damn. Like,
and
they're so real, they're extra real. That's what transcends means, right? It's actually, it's even realer than what's real.
He didn't even let me finish. I was gonna add, well, how do you know it's the Christian God?
Because could you imagine Justin having to deal with all all that shit that this guy has no idea what the hell he's saying. It's like the thing that he seems to understand is, hey, you can't say anything is immoral if there isn't an objective standard. That's like Frank Turek's thing. Well, who are you to say if something is moral or not? Because if you are saying that something is objective, you're appealing to some kind of objective standard. No, we're not. We're saying, I think that this is immoral. And we disagree. That's why they don't exist, man. And that's why we have things like courts.
Well, I was going to show how we know that Christian God exists through those properties is the supererogatory properties. Only the Christian God possesses supererogatory properties. So, Justin, how does it feel to get smacked around like a little redheaded stepchild? I will own you. And
did y'all hear this like this like new redheaded thing? Are like redheads are like black people? But Nikki is like really amused by that whole thing. And we actually ran into a redhead guy at the when we were getting an oil change, and she asked him about it, and he's like, "We totally are. We totally count as black." So funny. What an interesting conversation. Like, what an interesting thing to be making its way through the internet.
Any formal debate, you know that. That's why you have to drown out my mic, mute me, and then boot me like a little coward.
Oh my God, you're wasted, dude. You're wasted right now. I can tell. Okay. You know how I can tell? I've been wasted before. And I sounded a lot like that.
What a little coward.
Jeez Louise, this is so sad.
And good to see you, Pete.
Shifting gears, Pete, what are you doing here, man? I was just shouting coward into the mic until it peaked or whatever.
So I just demonstrated in philosophy itself, Justin does not know what the fuck he's talking about.
Wow. That was it. No, you demonstrated the opposite, but congratulations. It works good for us watching.
He is a Dunning-Kruger, or he is...
No, that's you. That's you. You don't even understand the thing that you brought up. Did he even read the full syllogism? Jesus Christ.
What they call, what is it? It's the, they have these, it's like this type of grandiosity. He is grandiose.
Yeah, Burn said tag gets you mocked and kicked from my chat rooms. Shaking my head so weak. Yeah, that is the dumbest. I think that's the saddest of all of the arguments. It's like so dishonest. It's like I always call it flim flam philosophy. You know, it's flim flamosophy. Yeah, can we write that down? Let's write that down. We gotta, I want that on a shirt. Flim flamosophy. I don't know, maybe it's not as cool as it sounded a second ago. But anyway.
Justin is grandiose.
He is grandiose. Okay.
I don't want to tell the Justin people out there, if you're following him, you're an idiot. You guys are idiots. You're sheeple. Don't be sheeple. Think for yourself.
Right. Or just don't think and then pretend to think for you. Don't think at all and then just pretend that you're doing thinking by pulling up a paper that you clearly have no idea what it means at all.
This guy thinks he knows it all, but he doesn't. He's a liberal scholar.
He's literally a scholar. He's a scholar. He has a master's degree. He knows the Bible so well, and clearly he knows like the basics of philosophy better than you do.
And I would rip him up. I really would.
Let's see it. Let's see it, man.
A formal debate. I challenged him to a formal debate.
Of course, he wants a formal debate. Yeah, he's like, I do not. I want to be able to just keep on acting like you didn't just refute everything I said.
And he runs away. Run away, little child. Run away.
Okay. No, I just think that, at some point the chat's like, okay, this is boring now, man. Because this is still for entertainment's sake. He has a channel on TikTok with over 100,000 followers. So You don't want to, you know, enough people are like, dude, this guy's just drunk and yelling. You go, okay, time to go, time to move on. But I'd love to hear what happened.
Good to see John Thomas.
Yeah, you're not drunk at all, dude. You are totally sober. If you are sober, I feel badly for you.
So with the citations that I just shown, does everyone see that he's a liar? I hope so. I hope you guys see
With
that.
the citations that I have just shown, what's the most academic way to say shown? Presented. Yeah, or that I presented or demonstrated. Even better. Even better. Man, wish I would have thought of that in that moment there.
No, not even close. It's like saying negating the tooth fairy is an admission that the tooth fairy exists.
Yeah, and he's trying to equivocate. He's trying to what we call move the goalposts. We're not talking about football goalposts.
Do you understand what goalposts are, man? What are you talking about?
They use it for soccer analogy. They used to. You can move the soccer goalposts all over the place.
How is that? Oh my god, dude, you have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
So they can't score the goal.
That's after you make an argument that okay, never mind. You haven't even made an argument just saying that because you say that moral facts don't exist, then that is that demonstrates that they do exist. And then he responded to that by saying that's like saying if you say the tooth fairy doesn't exist, that means there must be a tooth fairy that exists, because why would you be saying it doesn't exist? That is the most insane logic ever.
So he's equivocating.
No.
More we're talking.
How? What are the definitions that he's swapping out, man?
Talking metaethics here.
Oh my god.
Metaethicists have argued in the past that there are no moral facts. That makes it a moral claim.
No, yeah, a moral claim.
And then Justin's actually saying that there are no moral facts.
Yeah, no moral facts, not no moral claims, because claims are subjective, you dipshit.
Is not a moral claim, and
Holy
yes,
shit.
it is, because
sorry,
error theorists use it. You stupid dullard. You're a dullard.
You are such a fucking idiot. Do these other people get to talk at any point? I guess I wouldn't want to talk to with this guy either. So I guess they're just there to look cool with their matching shades. We all get matching shades, guys. Wouldn't that be cool? It's like we're in a gang. Yeah, except instead of jackets, we got shades. Dude,
that's silly.
If you're saying there's no moral facts, that makes it a moral fact. So it's self-defeating.
No, it is not. Saying something doesn't exist doesn't make it exist. You cannot believe that this is a good argument.
You're not listening.
I am
If
listening.
you're saying there is no moral facts.
Why does he have it turned up so loud, dude? The whole thing is clipping. Like the whole thing. It's like he sounds lower than the damn thing. Jesus.
Is a moral fact. They're claiming there's
It's
a
not.
moral fact. It is. And what does philosophy have to say about that? Let me put it up again.
Oh my God. What does all of philosophy have to say about that? Are you fucking stupid, man? Like, do you understand what philosophy even is? Holy shit. Because if you understand the way like philosophies work, there's always the next philosopher that disagrees with the past one. That's why you have to know what came before, and you have to know where it's going, and have to know how it got there, because fucking philosophy, man. Like, that's what are you doing? God, he's stupid. It's like incredible.
Is claiming moral facts that don't exist a moral claim? Yes.
Yeah, ChatGPT, the ultimate philosopher.
Claiming that moral facts don't exist can be considered a moral claim depending on the context and phrasing.
Yeah, it depends on a whole lot.
If someone says moral facts don't exist, that is a meta-ethical claim.
Yeah.
Let me repeat.
Are we seriously going back to this again? A claim is not a fact. Why are they so bad at this?
That is a meta-ethical claim.
Yep.
A claim about morality.
You can claim anything, man. Anybody can claim anything. You know what, buddy? I just flew around like Superman before I got here. You know that? Yeah, that's a claim. So what? It doesn't mean anything. It has no basis in reality at all.
Period.
Exactly.
Not necessarily about moral prescription. That's a whole different topic. But it is still meta-ethical.
Just because it's within the category of meta-ethical does not make it a fact. Why is this?
He was claiming it's psychological or something. That's just stupid. He's an idiot.
He's claiming it's subjective because it is.
It is a meta-ethical claim.
Yeah, yeah. Not which aren't objective.
Exactly, Daniel.
What is why are your comments so hard to read? His performance was a disgrace. It's interesting how these silver-lipped devils, whoa, are so cunning. It's disgusting, but interesting as in being aware tactically of these scumbags. Who is this? Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ. Wow, these people are just wow. It's kind of frightening to see how arrogant people can be while being so stupid.
His performance was a disgrace. It's interesting how these silver-lipped devils are so cunning. I know they really are. They grab the audiences
because they just actually know what they're talking about. Because here's what happens when you have a larger audience. There's more people to tell you that you're wrong, right? So. And that means there's more people that likely have an education that would know if he's actually wrong. That's why you don't have the kind of following he does, because you don't have as many people. Anyway, never mind. I don't want to do it.
What interesting is being aware tactically of these scumbags. Exactly. So he doesn't understand philosophy. I spanked him there. I just gave citation of that.
You didn't even understand. He has no idea what he's even saying. And he's like, I win. I win. I was playing a game of I win, you lose. And look, I spanked him. First of all, the nomenclature is cooked. Okay. You cooked him. Okay. But you can't even do that right. Jesus.
But yeah, the clapping seals in his stupid audience are saying, oh, that was just a terrible draw or whatever. No, it wasn't.
You are fucked up, man.
It was terrible for your little master, Justin.
For your little master.
Claiming a statement of existence is not a moral claim.
Yes, it is, because it's the existence of a moral claim. You're claiming there is no existence of of something that is moral. That's metaethical by definition.
The existence would refer to the claim part, not the moral part. It does exist. Your claim does exist because you claimed it. That's it. That's what exists. Oh, jeez, never mind. Forget it.
You stupid duller.
You.
It is a moral claim. You're saying there are no moral facts. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is a moral claim. Nobody disagrees with that. It's not a moral fact.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is. We just demonstrated why. Moral error theorists use that to argue that there are no moral facts. It's metaethical. By the way, error theory has been debunked and destroyed big time.
I love it when people just say it's been debunked big time, and he can't even explain why at all. Even just give me just a sentence to say how it was debunked.
The factual claim about something that doesn't exist.
And that's a moral claim.
Oh my God!
Assuming you don't understand. It's self-defeating. If you're saying there's no moral,
it's not self-defeating.
It is.
Making existence claims are not the same as making moral claims.
It's an existence of a moral claim, though, or the existence of something that is moral.
No, it's the existence of somebody who claimed something that is moral. Oh my God. This is where you just get into these loops of insanity. God damn it.
Does anyone see what I'm seeing or hearing?
Yeah, I'm seeing that you have no idea what you're seeing or hearing.
You guys understand that?
Yes.
That you hear that untrue? Yes. I think I don't. I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't really get what either of you are saying. To be totally honest here.
Every time you go back to it's the existence of the moral claim, he moves the goalposts.
No, he's explaining that it's a category error. The existence part only applies to the claim part. Jesus Christ. Not the moral part does not, like, the thing that you are claiming doesn't exist. The fact that you are like the claim exists because you said it.
That's another logical fallacy is what he's doing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
He's weaponizing. Yep.
He's weaponized.
And he's trying to. Do you see how he's slimy? He's trying to change. It's what do you call it? It's deflect, or it's
I hit the wrong one.
what they do. Reframe.
My bad. I did a Q&A instead of a poll. That's why I'm like, why is there no like percentage? That's funny. I was going too quick. That's it. I was running late.
And direct. He's reframing and directing.
Yep.
And I called him out on it.
Reframe it. No, he's framing it properly. You're the one that is mixing up your categories, dude.
And he didn't like that.
He didn't like it, man. I'm actually high. I'm high on Xanax.
No, and then he resorts into gaslighting, smearing, guile.
Yep.
What is guile?
To try to make himself look good.
To sonic boom you. Whatever.
And that's what I said. You're a piece of shit, Justin. I said it live to everybody.
Yeah, no, we heard you.
This is why you get devastated on every live stream you join, because like you don't actually know how words work.
Dishonest cleverness. Gotcha. Okay. So Jay Dyer. That's what that got it. Yeah.
She actually addressed the
And
argument.
so I actually did address the argument by asking you
Look at him with his gaslighting bullshit. He didn't address what I said.
actual questions about the argument that you clearly don't even understand. You're just reading from somebody's prepared talking points. You couldn't even define what a moral fact is. You're just saying that they must exist. Before you tell me that properties of moral facts exist, I'm going to need you to demonstrate that.
Do you see how he's drowning out my mic?
I see how you have turned him up so loud that it's clipping like crazy, because I have watched this video and it does not sound like this, man. It's crazy too, because I didn't know this was the video he's going to be covering, because I didn't watch this ahead of time. But it's like the odds. I mean, I guess this video must have done better because it came up like immediately on my feed. But
And he's over talking me, so I can't get my point, my responses to him.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I don't like doing, is going sometimes to the enemy side, because they have the advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, but he doesn't do this with everybody, dude. Like, there are other people that are respectful enough that when they have like this back and forth, that he allows them to talk, and then they go back and forth about it. You're acting like they just shut you down. They shut you down when you act like an ass. When you show up there acting like you know everything that you're talking about, and you literally know nothing, and then you get angry, and then get loud, start name calling, and then get booted.
It's a positive, absolute claim. Absolutely. Good to
That happens every time I don't wear pants, actually, Wolfos, by the way, just so you know. Yeah. It's which is more often than I should. I am not allowed back in that Arby's. Let me just say.
see Linda as well.
That moral facts do exist.
Okay, raping babies is immoral. There's a moral fact.
It's subjective.
It's even if, and I would agree, that doing that to babies, hopefully this still gets to be monetized. My God. Doing that to babies is morally wrong. But it's, even if everybody agrees that that's morally wrong, it's still subjective. It's still based on the opinions of everyone. It's not something that is outside of opinion.
No, it's a moral fact.
It's subjective. It's opinion.
Is it
What an idiot.
objective?
Objectively,
Unapologetically, Chris, what's going on? Chrissy, how you doing? Enemy side. Also, hey, what's up? Peace. Peace, yo. You know?
You see how I push back? He's claiming it's subjective, like it's universally subjective. Well, he's then making an objective claim about it being subjective.
Oh my good God. You don't know what words mean. You don't know what words mean. Hold on, let's hear that nonsense again. That was beautiful. I wish I could like clip this out and just have it on a soundboard somewhere.
He's claiming it's subjective, like it's universally subjective. Well, he's then making an objective claim about it being subjective.
It's objective that he made a claim because he objectively made it. Like it is that part is objective. What is being claimed? Wow, dude. This is so stupid. I don't think he knows what objective or subject means. Like subjective means.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's like, are you mixing up words? Are you saying the right words at the right time in the right order? Because I don't. Yeah,
They always torpedo themselves.
Yeah.
Trying to set the trap for you. What does the Bible say? They fall into it themselves.
What does the Bible say? The devil sets up traps that he then, it must have been an Acme trap because, you know, it Wile E. Coyote'd him.
Yeah. Do you see how he made another self-defeating claim? Are you saying it's absolutely the case that it's subjective? Then you're making an objective claim.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You don't know. Yeah, he doesn't understand. Like they try to do this thing where they go back and like, well, that's an objective thing. It's not. It's not a like the fact that he claimed it is the only thing that it's objective. The words objectively came out of his mouth. That is objectively true. That's it. Nothing else is objective.
So it's self-defeating again.
Oh
He's
my
making
God.
self-defeating comments and arguments. And this is what I showed tonight. And this is why he got spanked. And he was my little bitch tonight. And
Oh my God. And this, it's weird too. The like homoeroticism that seems to be coming out of this guy, you know? And if you want some homoeroticism to be coming out of you or going in both, either way, going in and out, go to adamandeve.com. And you can have all actually just eroticism. You can do just, it doesn't have to be all, but it can be, and that's fun. But go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley at checkout to get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. And, you know, get your butt some stuff, right? AdamandEve.com is America's #1 adult toy dispensary. Save yourself a trip to that sticky store, right, where everything's pre-used. You don't want to deal with that. And you know, and just get it sent to you directly. The packaging is discreet. It doesn't say in big bold letters that you're getting adult toys. Even if you ask them to do that, they don't. They said they don't have the right kind of printer for that. But anyway, go to AdamandEve.com and get your butt some stuff. All right, here we go.
thank you, Justin. Sometimes I do like redheaded stepchildren to play around with sometimes. You were my
And
little
if you want to play around with some, actually don't. That is the word children. I'm sorry. Never mind. Ooh, I almost made a man. Yeah, sorry. Never mind. Cut that. We got to cut that. Okay. You can cut stuff out of lives, right? I don't know how you could do that.
I had a stepchild tonight. Not in the literal sense, but in an intellectual sense. And I spanked you, buddy.
What? Not an intellect. What?
Around with sometimes. You were my little redheaded stepchild tonight. Not in the literal sense, but in an intellectual sense.
He's like, wait, did I just say that I made a bitch out of a child? Wow. Whoops. Metaphorical. I'm mixing metaphors that made it sound really gross and illegal. Whoa.
And I spanked you, buddy. You got spanked.
Subjective is not related
Thank you, Flip Normal. Appreciate you blanking it like that.
to morality. Saying that something is objectively pay attention. Saying that something is objectively true is not the same as saying that something is objectively moral. Moral is not the same.
You're still making the claim that something subjectively is true is the case objectively.
No, he's not. This dude is so funny. He is so arrogantly stupid. Oh God, love it.
So me saying no,
Hey Henry, what's up, dude? How you doing? So BI was laughing. Oh yeah, praise I am. A laughing stock. Just a total drunk clown, right? He's drunk now, and he's like, he was calling me drunk. Why? How dare you say something like, okay, so I jinx a bit. I jinx a bit. Okay. Well, I'm not drunk though. I'm not drunk. Okay. 2, 4, 7 jinx doesn't equal drunk. Okay.
There are that objective morality exists is relative to yours. So mine's true and yours is true. There's no.
Oh my good God. We'll go back to that. But hey, thank you so much. Flip normal. Holy crap. Awesome. 10 of them. Holy shit. Thank you. That is awesome. Gifted 10 Punk Apostate membership. Cool. Yeah. And that way, because like I said, like tomorrow I'm going to be covering something. It was a call to Kent Hovind from Ambushed Apostate, who's my brother. You know, we're brothers, and the Apostate sisters, they're our sisters as well. Wow, well, they actually are. That's funny because there's a sisters. Anyway, but we're the Apostate family. There's a lot of us. Okay, Apostate Anne. You know, she's in the family. It's a big family. But no, thank you so much. Seriously, that's awesome. Holy shit. Hell yeah. I really need it right now too.
So, like, you have no basis to tell me what is true and false because it's subjective and relative.
What? Hold on, let me go back because I got it. I really, really need to hear him say how, like, he's trying so hard here to like sound like he sort of knows what he's saying, and it's just wow. All right, one more back, and then we'll go.
So me saying no, there are that objective morality exists is relative to yours. So mine's true and yours is true. There's no
what?
You have no basis to tell me what is true and false because it's subjective and relative.
I'm sorry. One more time. Maybe I need some let's go back a little further. I feel like I'm missing. No, I'm not missing content. He's just an idiot.
Is not the same.
You're still making the claim that something subjectively is true is the case objectively.
You're still making the case that something subjectively true. Yeah, again, the fact that he claimed something, anybody claims something, that's objective. That's it. The moral truth. Okay.
So me saying no, there are that
Brent's like, don't try it. Don't even do it. You're gonna fucking stroke. You're gonna stroke out.
Objective morality exists is relative to yours. So mine's true and yours is true. There's no. You have no basis.
If mine's true and yours is true, wouldn't that be by definition subjective? If each people think is true, is there any way to figure out if something somebody says is true? Is there any way? Because like this doesn't. Wow, he just like flipped to like moral or to complete postmodernist or whatever, like relativism of like facts, like truth, like the relativism of truth. He just switched to
tell me what is true and false because it's subjective and relative.
It's subject. There is an objective reality, right, that we all experience. I presuppose this anyway. You know, for the precepts out there, right? We presuppose that there is a reality that is real and it is objective, right? But our ability to access that objective reality is slightly limited by our senses. And so we have to investigate in order to figure out if things are true or not. It is objectively true that he said something, but it's your subjective opinion about morality. It's not objective. There are no such thing as objective moral facts. There's just it's objective that you make moral claims. That's it.
He doesn't understand things that are relative claims.
There you go. Didn't stroke out. Am I getting fucked up here, or is it like it's my head spinning now because of all this nonsense?
Claims. My truth claim is just as valid as your truth claim.
No, it's not. That's otherwise it wouldn't be true. Like, oh my God, this is so weird. What's up, Grand Theft Auto and JEIO? What's going on? Hey, good to see you. Glad you made it.
You have no standard to weigh or tell me something is true or false, and that's why subjectivity falls by the wayside, because it's self-defeating.
So you think everything you think is objective? Wow, talk about dishonesty. Like, you are lying to yourself so hard, man. So apparently Praise I Am has never been mistaken about anything. because everything he thinks is objective. He has no, it's not, there's no subjective interpretation of like what he thinks is true. It's all just objectively true, probably because he thinks he's getting it revealed to him by a magic that he can't demonstrate exists.
Because you can't tell me something subjective and then have it objectively true that that's superior to what I say.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Because you can't tell me something subjective and then have it objectively true that that's superior to what I say.
What? That is such a nonsensical statement. You can't say. Hold on, one more time. I'm sorry.
Because you can't tell me something subjective and then have it objectively true that
what?
that's superior to what I say.
That's the part that makes no sense. It is objective that you said something subjective. that part's objectively true. This is so funny. God
Because
damn.
if it's superior to what I say, then you're making something objective.
If you're saying it's superior to what I say, so you're the only person that could be right ever. That's so funny.
He makes self-defeating arguments. If you tell me something subjective, then I'm just going to say I disagree, and then my moral opinion's better than yours, and you can't prove otherwise.
Boom! You made it, man. Good job. I did that register. I don't think it registered. There you go, buddy. Yeah, that's why moral facts don't exist, because of the thing you just said, man. Holy shit. Hold on. Let's do that one more time.
Self-defeating arguments. If you tell me something
my God.
subjective, then I'm just going to say I disagree, and then my moral opinion's better than yours, and you can't prove otherwise.
Oh, yep. And that's it. That's why it's an opinion, like you literally just said, as if you don't understand what subjectivity or objectivity even is, because you said it's an opinion.
So, anyway.
Thing as truth claims. If I said it's objectively true that you're talking to me, that is not a moral claim. That's an objective claim.
There's moral truths, moral epistemology. Learn what moral epistemology is.
Moral epistemology? Okay. Like how you know if something is moral? That is exactly what makes that's exactly what makes it subjective, man. Because we can't know. We can only decide, and then try to set a goal that is helpful to people and everything. But like, oh, Jesus, he has no clue what he's talking about.
Epistemic morality is a real thing, Justin.
What epistemic morality is true, man? You're stupid. Hold on, let's go back.
Claims. If I said it's objectively true that you're talking to me, that is not a moral claim. That's an objective claim.
There's moral truths, moral epistemology. Learn what moral epistemology is.
What?
That is epistemic.
Hold on. What the fuck? I'm gonna look up moral epistemology. Is that even a thing? Hold on. Moral epistemology. Okay, moral epistemology is the philosophical study of moral knowledge. It explores questions about the nature of moral truths, about how we can know them, and the justification for moral beliefs. Okay, so it is a thing, but I don't understand how you can really do that with any kind of level of certainty. I mean, this must be under the umbrella of moral realism, because that's the only way this would make sense. Because like, how could you possibly know? Is moral knowledge possible? That's like one of the core questions. Is moral knowledge possible? Not that I could tell. How do we acquire moral knowledge? What is the nature of moral facts? What justifies our moral beliefs? Yeah, but it would still all be subjective. But again, people have been debating this forever. So anyway, back to him. But okay, so it is a thing that I just never heard it applied that way, because I've always heard people say you can't apply epistemology to ontology. But I don't know.
Morality is a real thing, Justin. You're conflating categories, metaphysics with metaethics.
You are conflating categories, dude. You're literally saying that it's objective. That a moral claim is objective, an objective fact. You're mixing up claims and facts.
You don't even know the difference. Metaethics is not metaphysics per se, yet they overlap. But no,
he walked that back immediately. Well, okay, there is a little bit of overlap there, because metaphysics. Okay, wait. What is metaphysics again? I forget. What is it?
Specifically, metaethics, though. Learn what metaethics is. Learn what moral epistemology is. Learn what moral ontology is.
Why don't you teach us, man? Why don't you say what it is? Since you won't even do that, because I don't think you know what that is. I just looked it up because I actually like knowing stuff.
About the facts of reality. I'm asking you, what is the evidence that objective morals exist, not objective facts?
And I told you, basically, it's summed up to moral realism. They have a real. They're in reality. That's why they're true, because they're
Prove
real.
it.
I did prove it. They're non-natural properties. They cannot be discovered. They're sui generis.
They cannot be discovered. Then how are they real? If there's something that cannot be discovered, how is it real, man? How could it exist if you can't discover it? This is my problem with objective morality and the objective standard nobody can demonstrate, because it can't be. Again, it's a value judgment on behavior. It's a value judgment on behavior.
Generis properties are supernatural. Where are you gonna find?
Oh, it's supernatural. Oh, because magic. I forgot. Yeah, I guess you could just say anything. Yeah, because magic. No, yeah, a guy came back to life after being tortured to death on a cross and flew away into the clouds. It's magic. I get to say anything. Doesn't matter.
The property of goodness at? You're gonna find it under a telescope? You're gonna find it in the scientific method? It's
What?
transcendental goodness.
Oh my God. Really? It's transcendental. I love that word. That is it.
Properties like justice, goodness, love. They're not the.
Those are properties? Hold on. What?
It's transcendental goodness. Properties like justice, goodness, love.
Those are properties of what?
They're not discoverable empirically.
Right. And it's because they don't. Well, they technically are. Some of them are. Love is discoverable empirically. Like we can see like what causes the experience, and we can see what happens to the brain when somebody is experiencing. But you're describing a subjective experience called love. It's a feeling people have. Justice, though, that has to do with fairness, and I think that could be quantified in some kind of way. I mean, as far as like, well, anyway, I won't get into all that, but yeah, I think like justice and fairness is something that we can look at. Those are some of the best arguments I've heard for objective morality, is like when you base it in fairness and things like that, because that even goes back to like the animal kingdom. Apes and stuff understand fairness, and they'll literally, if they've done experiments where they've seen apes like take some of their food and split it for the other apes, because they'll see that one ape is getting something the other one isn't, and they'll literally take some of theirs and give it to their friend, because they're like, oh, this isn't fair. How come I get all this stuff? And dogs even do it, except dogs don't understand to the same level. They chimps will understand like a better kind of food, and they'll split both. So like, oh, I get the better kind of food, you get the worst kind of food. Dogs would just be like, we both got food, it's cool. But a chimp is like, no, let's split both kinds of food so that you get both the better and the worst kind, and I'll take the better and the worst kind. Like they're that specific about it. But that's because it's an evolutionary thing, because we developed as a social species to help each other from that, which we have a common ancestor with the apes. So it makes sense that they would do that. But anyway.
Gosh, I like this spanking.
I like his bacon. Okay, man, sounds like a personal thing there. But if you like spanking, you know, go to adamandeve.com, right? I think they have paddles and everything, actually. You know, and they got the kind with the holes in it that kind of sting. They sting. Go to adamandeve.com. You can get locked in a kennel with some of the restraints. I don't think they have the kennel. You got to go to a PetSmart for that sort of thing. Make sure you get one that's sized right. You don't want to get cut up trying to come out of that thing. Anyway, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brently. That's BRENTLY at checkout, and get your butt some stuff. Get your butt some spanked. Jesus. Okay. Wow. What the fuck?
Yeah, Justin, you're officially are in the dung zone.
The done zone. Oh man, we are done zone. Wow.
Yeah, he's just opinionating like you. That's an illogical view. It's self-defeating.
What? He is just opinionating? Is that what he just said?
Dung zone.
And he agreed with it. You're right. He is just opinionating. What? You can't make that a verb, can you? You can't make opinion.
Yeah, he's just opinionating like you.
If he's just opinionating like you, then it's not objective. That's his illogical view. Yeah, it's not illogical, though. It has to be that way when we're talking about human behavior.
That's an illogical view.
Jesus
It's self-defeating. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's so not.
I just did. Raping babies is immoral.
You used a word that you don't know. You just said moral realism proves it. It doesn't prove it.
And he doesn't even know what moral realism. So
No, he does. It's just it's a like a standard or whatever. Moral realism is just people that believe that moral facts are real. Like you. Your moral realism doesn't prove anything. It's just like it just categorizes your opinions about stuff.
moral realism is that morals have real existence.
Yeah, and it's not objectively true that moral realism is true.
Objective. They're objective, and they even
Prove it. Prove it. Prove that objective morals exist.
surpass reality themselves. They transcend it.
Then it's not real. If it's outside of reality, it's not real. You're literally saying it's not real. And then you're like, but I'm a moral realist, even though I'm literally saying it's not real. Unbelievable.
Unlike, see, Justin, what he doesn't want to tell you is he's a moral anti-realist. And he has to take that position because he only has nature to appeal to where morality comes from, and he can't do it. Nature.
Dude, you only have your subjective opinion of what you think your God wants to believe or wants everybody to behave like. That's why moral anti-realism makes way more sense, because y'all can't even agree amongst yourselves. Like, it's not like if a Christian like that I knew would watch this video right now, they would say you are behaving very immorally according to their objective standard of God. Right. So right there, like I could already see, and they do this thing where like religious people do this thing where like, well, we actually believe that our doctrine says, because it's like their doctrine of their denomination, or it's their interpretation of their doctrine or their denomination of their religion. It's so subjective. It's like layered subjectivity. And yet then they will go, and it's subjective. Dude, no, it's not. It's your subjective opinion about whatever you think about the God you made up or decided to, or chose subjectively to follow.
Nature doesn't breed morality. Moral behavior is not moral behavior. Moral behavior is not morality.
What? Moral behavior is not morality? Morality, what would describe, or morality would be the category that something like moral behavior would fall under.
They're two different things.
It'd be the.
He doesn't even understand that either.
What? You don't understand anything you're saying, man.
Moral behavior would go under utilitarianism.
What? Moral behavior would go under all morality. Like, this is so insane. Dude. How is he this wrong for this? Holy shit. He's like trying to say that moral behavior isn't morality or has nothing to do with morality. Those are two different things. What the fuck are you talking about?
But I'm not arguing utilitarianism. Anyway, but
Yeah, because I don't even think you know what that is. And I don't think that Justin does either. I don't think it necessarily has to do with utilitarianism, but
this is a freaking spanking, folks.
if you say so.
You know what
So-
moral realism is?
So what I'm saying is that all morals are social conventions. We make them up using our own brain matter. I'm asking you.
No one cares about your social survey. Its moral relativism collapses on itself because no one's view is greater than anyone else's view.
Right. I mean, I could disagree with that. I don't. You're saying like no view is greater than anybody else's view. I mean, and that's how they have to oversimplify things, you know, which is that's what they love to do. It's like where nuance goes to die, whatever these people are thinking, because it's a greater. That's why we have like democracy. Again, we have courts for that. And what the courts decide, it's not always perfect. It's not always right because, again, we're humans. We're flawed humans trying to do the best we can and, you know, and trying to be as just as possible. And that's why we have courts, right? But there definitely is, if we're basing it on like a democratic level, a better opinion than somebody else's. If somebody has the opinion that it's okay to go punch people and then everybody else goes, yeah, that's insane, then the person that says that's insane is, I would say it's a better opinion. It's more agreed upon. It's still subjective. It's all subjective, but you know, they have better reasons for why it is wrong. And it's like, that's where it comes back to like justification and things like that. But in your justification, you would have to provide some kind of goal of what you think makes something immoral. And that is the subjective part. Because one person might say, because my religion says to be nice to people. And then somebody else might say, because we are in a social species and I don't want to be hurt myself, so we shouldn't hurt other people. Or like the categorical imperative, like if this behavior became a universally followed behavior, would society get better or worse? And if it gets worse, then that would, you know, be wrong. This is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of ways. I mean, moral philosophy and ethics is very complicated. We can talk about this a lot, but it, you know, and it's like he just knows like a couple of the words, and has found it convincing because he's already decided that a God exists, and has already decided that the God that exists is the one that he believes in, and that the moral fact, you know, that whatever that God says everybody should behave like is the moral, objectively moral, and that's not. None of that is true.
There's no basis for anyone's morality. So, and then if you're going to say subjective morality is objectively the case, then you're saying that subjective morality is objective. Then you just prove that objective morality exists.
Wow, you're stupid. Wow. He literally is doing the thing I was joking about. I said that as a joke earlier, I thought, right? Did he just do my joke and actually? Wait, let me hear that again.
So, and then if you're going to say subjective morality is objectively the case, then you're saying that there's no basis for anyone's morality.
No, the bases change depending upon the person.
So, and then if you're going to say subjective morality is objectively the case, then you're saying that subjective morality is objective. Then you just proved objective morality exists.
The fact that it is true, objectively true, that morality is subjective means that objective morality exists. Dude, this guy is so funny. I love him. I think we're going to be covering this guy more. This dude is just killing me. Holy shit.
So,
wow.
Dullard, what a dullard.
Oh my God, dude. Don't say stuff like that. You're not helping your case, man. I feel like that's why these people are so quiet. But you kind of sound like the dullard. I don't like being on the screen with this guy. Can I turn in my glasses? I want to get glasses that don't have the stuff on it. Because this is embarrassing.
Dingbat.
For the evidence that the morals don't come from the human brain. What's the evidence of that?
Okay, hold on. Baba said morality is deeply funded on funded. Oh, you mean founded? Or okay, let me read all that. On who we are as humans. It's not just whims. They always conflate subjective with volatile. I'm not really actually sure what you mean by volatile. But yeah, you're right. I would say it's not necessarily based on subjective, and it's not based on whims, really, because it's usually based on some form of a justification based on like what you think people should behave like for whatever reasons you have. But it's yeah, I wouldn't say it's like whimsical. Whimsy is what I do. Okay, that's my thing. And I wish more people would be whimsical, because we can have some fun in reality, right? Otherwise, it's boring. I forgot what we were talking about. What's going on here? What is it?
I told you the properties of moral facts.
You can't say that moral facts exist because there are properties of moral facts. You can't use.
Yes, I can. That's metaethics. Dipshit. Yes, I can say that.
Why don't you let him complete a thought? It's so funny that like you have to interrupt him as he's explaining why you're wrong in order to and then you're just like, that's what metaethics is. That's your explanation. That's what metaethics is. The entire philosophy of metaethics. That's what that is. No, dipshit. That is the fucking, oh my God. That is the overarching category. It's like he just keeps saying the category and be like, that's what proves it. The category proves it. The philosophical, the field in philosophy. That's what that's what proves that you're wrong. The whole field. Because that both your beliefs would fall under that category, man, of philosophy.
Use the properties of moral facts to claim that morals exist. That's circular. It's begging the question.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, it is. If you're saying the properties of a moral fact prove that moral facts exist, that's like me saying or a tooth fairy, to use his example. Because the tooth fairy has wings and a star stick wand, it's a wand thing, then that means that tooth fairies exist. You can't say that. Just making up details or characteristics of something doesn't mean that the something actually exists in reality. You need to demonstrate that stuff exists in reality.
Metaphysically discoverable.
What? Again, didn't he just say earlier that it was not discoverable? That you can't access this objective moral standard that everybody just knows exists.
And this is why you get dog walked in every single debate you ever get in, is because you don't actually know.
Look at Justin. This is his little tactics, gaslighting.
Mm-hmm. Ad hominem.
What? He didn't do an ad hominem. He just said that this is why you get dog walked, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about, because you clearly don't.
Yeah.
Right.
What do we call that again?
This is hilarious.
And what do we call that again?
We call that psyopers.
Psyopers. Yeah, because we're fucking weirdos.
Psyoper grooming, weaponizing logical fallacies.
Good one. Just a whole bunch of words y'all understand it all.
Yes.
Yes, you are correct about that list of nonsense.
Grooming people. He's trying to psyop people because he knows he's been defeated.
Mm-hmm. He also used what's called hasty generalizations.
Grasshopper? Is that what he said? Is it grasshopper? He doesn't look like a grasshopper to me. Maybe a cute chipmunk. Maybe, I don't know.
He's saying that's why in all these things you get wrecked, but he never provided one piece of evidence of.
He starts gaslighting when he looses. What was he loosing? Well, I don't understand. He's loosing stuff. Was there a dog or something back there that he loosed? Can't even spell loose.
Praise ever getting wrecked, but he has this hasty. It's called a hasty generalization, a logical fallacy.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
God. That's literally all you've done this entire time. It's a hasty generalization. You're literally saying he's wrong because of metaphysics. That's not a hasty generalization. Holy shit. This is the stupidest person I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's just weaponizing logical fallacies. That's all these fakeists.
He hasn't even pointed to a logical fallacy. He's just asked for proof that moral facts exist. And you've just said nothing. You've said nothing because you don't actually know anything.
Fakeists. That's all they ever do,
What? What did he just call it? Is he trying to do a play on the word atheist? And is he trying to say fakeists? Fake atheists? It doesn't work. You can't mix those words, dude. You're gonna sound stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just weaponizing logical fallacies. That's all these fakeists.
You guys are wasted. You're wasted, man. Seriously, put down the fucking what is the tequila? It's tequila. It's gotta be. Nobody gets this fucked up from something that's not tequila.
That's all they ever do, I said it the first time I came on to co-host with you. I stick to it today. After observing these people, and of course because they're part of the world, they don't have the Holy Spirit, and so they're
that's it. Yeah, because they don't have the magical undead carpenter ghost that we pretend to cannibalize, right? Yeah, that's how you know they're crazy and dumb. Holy shit.
Atheism itself develops inside of them a mental illness, and it's I
like studies literally show the opposite. Studies literally show that having the like adherence, like high levels of religious dedication it becomes a like mental illness. And I'm actually evidence that it does, because I'm having to clear a lot of that shit up, because holy shit, when you're indoctrinated as a child, does it fuck up your way of thinking about literally everything? Because you're told that like demonstrative evolution, well, that's something that scientists just make up. Talking donkey? Now you got to believe that. Okay. And then you expect that kid to go, oh yeah, I can figure out how the fucking world works now. Thanks for setting up such a great paradigm for truth for me. This is going to be great living life.
Ironically, I watch it also with fake Christians, the ones that believe what the Apostle Paul called not a gospel. They're proclaiming Jesus in a false way about his finishing redemptive work at Calvary. So it's
God, I love how they just have to switch gears back to their like Christian scripts and stuff, because they're like not even on topic anymore. It's just like there's like, let's talk about the Holy Spirit and the stuff that we know about, which is made up stuff that is nothing but like our religious speak.
Galatians 1:8, it's that whole Apostle Paul calls that not a gospel, and they develop a mental illness as well. So it's interesting between like the sissy Satans and screw jobs of the world.
The sissy Satans. What are sissy Satans? Hold on. We wrote that. Where are we at here? See what bro said. Oh yeah, I performed with a group of people at a local theater. Wow, that's awesome. I did a Jiminy Cricket song on trumpet, though I was in grade school. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I did I did it was an idol rap, because I was the oh man, Nebuchadnezzar. Yeah. In a production that we did. And I did a rap, and I put on glasses and did this at the end. It was probably inappropriate, but I don't know. It was, I loved it as a kid because I used to love rap when I was a kid.
They have mental illness. The atheists have mental illness. It's like, boy, they need.
Just everybody has mental illness. Yes, everybody.
They all need the real, true gospel of grace so badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is excellent, Praise. You're doing awesome here.
Is that I'm sensing sarcasm?
Pointing out, exposing this guy.
And Hudson, he hits exactly what I was arguing. Justin thinks that everything that is true must be presented to him in the physical. He doesn't understand or acknowledge the transcendental immaterial absolutes.
Damn, that none of that means anything. The transcendental, like the stuff that isn't real, in other words, that you just said. Hold on.
Be presented to him in the physical.
For just like some reason that we can think what you're saying is actually accurate. I don't feel like that's not asking for that much, man. How do we know that what you think it conforms with reality at all? That's all we're asking for, man. It doesn't necessarily, you don't have to hold moral truths in your hand and be like, here you go, here they are. That's not what we're saying. Like, you just need a justification that isn't completely batshit and just saying, but my magic says it's the objective fact or objective moral fact. There we go, I win. That's not going to work.
He doesn't understand or acknowledge the transcendental immaterial absolutes. Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
Because those aren't real. That's not everything that exists. It's just a bunch of big words that make you feel like you know what the hell you're saying.
He was begging the question the whole time in this debate.
What is begging the question to you, man?
Look at Hudson, man.
Oh, you won't even say.
And see, Hudson knows philosophy. That's awesome, Hudson. Good stuff.
Wait, what did
Begging
Hudson
the
say?
stand.
Oh, here we go. Justin thinks everything that is true must be presented to. Oh, yeah, and physical. He doesn't acknowledge the transcendental immaterial absence. Oh, so he didn't even know those were. I'm sorry. He was reading that. I wasn't even paying that close attention. That's funny. So those weren't even words that he came up with. He's just quoting Jay Dyer, probably.
Or acknowledge the transcendental immaterial absolutes. Yep. Ding,
Prove that those exist.
ding, ding, ding.
Or give us any reason to think they exist.
He was begging the question the whole time in this debate. Look at Hudson, man. See, Hudson knows philosophy. That's awesome, Hudson. Good stuff.
God, they sound wasted. That's so funny.
So it's just he's assuming his own worldview when he's arguing.
No, not necessarily. Like, I mean, see, this is how they have to do it. You assume that your worldview is the correct one. Look, we're trying to figure out what is true. Again, there's an objective reality. We all have slightly limited access to that objective reality because of our senses. We need to be convinced if something is true. You can't just say because of the transcendental and immaterial absolutes. And we go, oh, well, then whatever you tell me is true. I'm sorry. I guess just whatever you think's what I got to think now because you said big words at me. Like, you've got to actually convince people that things are true. If I said I flew around like Superman in the sky and then go, do you think that's true? And then go, well, why should I believe that's true? And I go, because of the immaterial transcendental absolutes. You wouldn't find that convincing because this is about convincing people of things. Jesus. It's like, and they always have to challenge like all of reality for you, like, oh, well, how do you know anything's real? And it's like, then they can waste time in that. And that's what the transcendental argument is just trying to get an atheist on the back foot, trying to defend all epistemology as if it's not a question that's been like debated in philosophy forever, but I got to answer all of it while you get to just say that God is the answer for it and you win. It's insane.
And he's operating off his own worldview when he's trying to argue. It's circular. It's begging the question.
How to have a conversation and you don't actually know how words work.
He doesn't know how words work. Amber, hey, how's it going? What's going on? How you doing? So Praise is still around? He is still getting his arguments from ChatGPT. He is. He literally, that's funny you said that. He just just had it pulled up a second ago. That's so funny. I love, of course, Ember knows this.
I cooked you on slavery, Dr. John.
You didn't cook shit because you booted me just like you did on this show.
You didn't cook shit. I'm drunk. I'm a drunk.
That's a total lie. And Josh, my book destroyed him. It took him down.
This guy wrote a book? Holy shit. Anybody can write books, I guess. Huh?
He's a defeated foe as well. In fact, you know what? We're going to look into my book here, what he tried to...
Oh my God. We have to buy this book. Okay, Patreon goal, or member goal. I don't know. If I get to like 30 members, or well, I got 10 right now. Let's go with 50 members. I'm going to buy this book, right? And it'll be worth it, okay? Because it's going to be funny.
Censor in my last debate. This time, and I hope all the Justinites out there get to see this.
The Justinites. I don't know if I'd be a Justinite, but I like Justin. He's pretty cool.
And make a decision. Are you a free thinker?
Yes.
Are you open to thinking differently
Yes.
and accepting things that might not be true, what Justin claims? And you
Yes.
might just be a sheeple of Justin if you just accept everything that he says?
No, I don't know about all that. You lost me at the sheeple thing. Like, can we take sheeple out of the sentence? Maybe just say it without that. You know that you literally describe yourself as Jesus's flock. Like, if you go to church, you're a flock. And yeah, everybody else are fucking sheeple. Incredible.
Huh, think for yourself. Listen to both sides.
I'm trying to, man. You're not you're not helping, man. You're making Justin's case for him on your own fucking video, dude.
Josh cooked you on slavery. You've got cooked on slavery every single time that you've engaged in the conversation.
Yeah, and if it
But
was,
see, you're just trying to shout over him, man. That's the problem right there.
if I got cooked and I'm such an easy opponent, why did you run away from me in debates?
Because it's obnoxious and it's not going anywhere, and you're just like drunk yelling.
And several times I challenged you openly, even on JP Uncut's channel, a bigger channel. They called you out and you ran away. You dodged like a little bitch.
Well, I'd love to see that one.
And you overtalk me. You mute my mic. You drown my mic out and then boo me. You have to, Justin.
And listen how he's got it turned up so loud that it sounds like that. You know, he's so dishonest. He's got it like clipping. When I watched this video earlier, it did not sound anything like this.
To keep your little persona image going. But see, that's why we have maybe these shows that expose these frauds like Justin. And we're going to show what he censored me with in the last debate. I'm going to show that here, but also kind of get into slavery.
Oh boy. All right. We might have to just wrap it here because we're kind of over time and I got to get something to eat. But maybe, all right, where are we at here? Wow. I'm sorry, y'all. I talk too much, don't I? We're at 43 minutes in. I did reach out to Justin to see if he wants to come on and maybe react to some of this type of stuff with me. Yeah, let's see. You know, dude's busy. It takes him a minute to get back a lot of times because of that. Anyway, but hey, thank you all so much for hanging out. This is really fun. I might actually be back in a little bit with another one after I eat because I'm kind of hungry, but I got the whole day pretty much to chill. So we'll see what's up. But hey, if you want to play with something that's up, go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brentley. Oh, please smash the like. Holy crap, dude. Why do I'm not good at the YouTube thing. Yeah, hitting the like button helps stuff. Also subscribing if you are not subscribed. Also sharing the show around and commenting below if you haven't, you know, after this, if you're watching this after the fact. But main thing, go to adamandeve.com, get your butt some stuff, put in that code word Brentley at checkout. Also, and if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, or you can go to Patreon, Patreon.com/Punk Apostate. You can do a one-time payment on Cash App. Our cash tag is Punk Apostate. You can become a member by hitting that join button, and you get extra content, quite a bit. Actually, I just created some more content for both Patreon and the members. So I got that coming out. And you can also email me if I get anything wrong, or you want to maybe explain to me stuff about moral realism that I'm not getting right. I love hearing about that type of stuff because I'm not, you know, I'm an enthusiast kind of, you know, but I'm very surface level. But even just that can tell me enough to know this guy's an idiot. But yeah, email me. Also, join the Discord and there's lots of conversations going on in there all the time. You can also suggest stuff, right, in the Discord if you want to do that. And I love getting suggestions. And you can, all the links to my socials are below. I don't really go on social media too often, but I every so often, right? I don't know, here or there. But yeah, and those links will all, they are all below currently right now. I do it ahead of time these days because I'm professional, sort of. But yeah, so, but the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.